Luka Garza is an offensive force. At 6'11", 265 with great touch, he's at his best with his back to the basket and deep post position, an area where he routinely forces opponents to send double teams. Here he just steps right through it anyways, even triple teams. With defenses so worried about getting the ball out of his hands, it leaves the help unorganized and vulnerable to skip past threes. On top of all of that, Garza can also step out and shoot it. He went 6 for 7 from 3 in a game versus Iowa State this season, and he's shooting 45% from behind the arc on about 3 attempts per game. Not to mention the little Dirk fadeaway he's added to his game. It's not always necessarily pretty with Garza. He's great at starting a possession by rim running down the court to beat his man for an easy layup, using his body to seal and immediately put pressure on the defense, even if he does kinda look like the guy from Quap in the process. Efficiency-wise, Garza is unmatched over the past decade. He has a usage rate of 33% this season, meaning he either shoots, gets fouled, or turns it over on 33% of Iowa's possessions. Compared to every other player since 2010 to finish a season with a usage rate over 30, Garza's having the most efficient season out of the entire list with an offensive rating of 133. And he's putting up that combination of volume and efficiency while playing in the best conference in college basketball. As a team, Iowa has been by far the most efficient offense in the Big Ten. They're scoring 1.17 points per possession. The next highest team scores 1.12. In this video, we'll look at how Garza and Iowa achieve those numbers. Garza's go-to moves and footwork in the post, the X's and O's Coach Fran McCaffrey uses to get the ball inside and to confuse help defenders. And at the end, I'll show you what I think is by far the most underrated part of Garza's game. March Madness is coming soon, so please hit that subscribe button. I have more videos on some of the top teams and schemes in college basketball coming down the pipeline. It doesn't take long when watching Luka Garza to identify his favorite post move, the right-hand hook shot. When he's on that right block, he's usually trying to turn over his left shoulder and get to that hook. When he gets close to the hoop, it's almost impossible to stop without sending help, but he also has some range on the hook, using his touch to finish even outside of the paint. Here, Timmy is trying to get on the high side to take away the right hook and send him into Suggs' help, but Garza just gets to the hook anyways. Iowa uses different quick-hitting sets to get Garza deep position in the post, like this chin action. Garza sets the back screen for Bohannon, causing Robbins to give some help. Then comes the immediate re-screen for Bohannon, followed by a quick duck-in from Garza, just overpowering Robbins, creating deep post position, getting to the left shoulder, and converting the N1. Another one of Fran McCaffrey's sets has a couple different options. Bohannon and Garza are stacked together on the block. On this version, Garza just sets the pin down for Bohannon and ducks in again for another post touch. Now here's the other version. The block is still stacked, but this time Bohannon sets the screen for Garza to post up on the opposite block. Watch the defender Christian Lander. Bohannon's a career 40% three-point shooter, so he wants to stay connected. But when the screen frees up Garza, Lander gives emergency help, only to lose Bohannon in the screen-the-screener action. That's just one example of Garza creating open looks for his teammates. In even more obvious ways when he draws a double team, opening up the skip pass 3 on the weak side. Here, Garza doesn't even have the ball yet, but Ayayi's trying to anticipate the entry pass, leading to a skip and a 3. Same thing on this roll to the basket. Garza sucks in the defense, McCaffrey skips the ball to the corner. With defenders so preoccupied with battling Garza in the post, it can open up driving lanes for his teammates, like the Indiana players just being sandwiched together here. As you might expect, Iowa is one of the best post-up teams in the country. Only one other team, Wright State, scores more points per game from the post. Just Luka Garza himself averages more points per game off of post-ups than every other NCAA team except for 6, meaning he scores more than 340 of them. Another unique part of the Iowa offense is a lack of ball screens. The Hawkeyes use about 14 ball screens per game, the second lowest in the Big Ten. Instead of on-ball screening, they use off-ball screening as a part of their motion offense. That motion is actually especially apparent when Garza's on the bench, using random screens and cuts to create advantages. Watch how many random screens Bohannon sets here, just running around and creating chaos. With Garza in the game, Iowa's motion isn't nearly as equal opportunity, which obviously makes sense. When you have the best post-up player in the country, it's a smart idea to just get him the ball and play off of it. But they do still use motion concepts on those Garza post entries. On the post-up here, see how the low defender is looking to help on Garza? Well, Iowa sets the off-ball screen to occupy that help. Again, a low defender worried about Garza, so Iowa exchanges on the weak side, creating a wide open three. Same exact concept one more time here, but with a flare screen. Just even thinking about throwing the ball inside to Garza can open up the weak side for many different motion opportunities. When there's a dominant back to the basket threat on the court, entry passes into the post are extremely important. As Garza is carving out an angle, the passer needs to be in sync to deliver the ball on time and on target. Connor McCaffrey especially is as good of an entry passer as you'll see. He can use either hand for a wraparound bounce pass or a lob over the top, sometimes creating something out of nothing. Watch the stress a good entry pass puts on the defense. The initial angle is taken away from Garza, but as McCaffrey pivots to spin back around, Garza spins in unison to create a second angle, with McCaffrey then throwing a beautiful one-hand wraparound. Again, the post front takes away Garza initially, but on the reversal, Baycott gets stuck and Wieskamp throws a dime to the basket. Garza likes using that spin or swim move to carve out space. We already saw his favorite move on the right block was that hook shot, but on the left block, he loves to spin out towards the baseline, trying to beat his man for a quick first step for a reversed layup on the other side of the rim. He's also not just one-dimensional on the block. Garza has counters like the up and under step through. If you cheat too much on the right hook or the left spin, he'll give you a pump fake and use that step through right to the basket, stringing together different types of combo moves. Here it looks like he's going to the right hook, he pumps, he steps through, and then he goes right back to the hook. Kevin McHale would be proud. To me, the most underrated part of Garza's game, and a big key for Iowa's success, is his hands. He has amazingly soft hands when receiving an entry pass, using one hand to shield off the defender and the other to corral any pass thrown his way. It's a two-way street. The Iowa guards are great passers, but they also have the luxury of knowing Garza is gonna go get the pass. The margin for error on any pass is much greater thanks to Garza's hands. It's one of the reasons why, despite making so many risky passes into the post, Iowa is #1 in the entire country in turnover rate. Garza's hands also help him on the offensive glass. He'll pull down a one-handed rebound in traffic, or somehow keep a ball alive by tipping it off the backboard to himself. If there's been a weakness in Garza's offensive game this season, he can get into some trouble when he drives from out on the perimeter. He likes to drive left and then get his back to the basket by spinning back to the right. Indiana took advantage a couple times by trapping as soon as he turned his back, losing vision of the help defender. He's just not quite as comfortable when facing up and attacking off the bounce. But this last play really highlights the difficulties of defending Luka Garza. Indiana traps the post, getting it out of his hands. They scramble, forcing the ball all the way to a below-average three-point shooter in the corner. It's great defense, but then after all of that, Garza just ducks his man in, McCaffrey throws a dime, and it's an easy 2 points anyways. Thank you very much for watching. We have a weekly college basketball newsletter I'd love you to sign up for. In the next edition of the newsletter, I'll be including some extra thoughts and clips on Garza and Iowa that didn't make it in the final edit of this video. Link is in the description to sign up for that. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and see you in the next one.